and welcome to the very first episode of the Braus podcast. I think we're going to title it The Fight Never Ends, but maybe we can ask you and you can give us a new title. Today, like I said, the very first episode of the podcast, and I could ask for no better guest to start this podcast. I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Thalison Soares. How you doing, sir?
Hey Marcelo, how are you? I'm doing great. Good to see you, my friend. You've been good?
All good, man. Straight from São Paulo, Brazil here. It is the beginning of the evening here, and it's early morning for you, right?
Early morning, it's only 7:30 a.m. here, starting my day. And first thing the day, what a pleasure.
Yeah, man. You are a hard worker, but first of all, let me thank you for being here with us. It's you're easy to work with. It's awesome. It's always a pleasure when we get to do that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. I was talking to you, to all the crew from Braus.
Awesome, awesome. But like I said, I'm in São Paulo. You're in Brazil, in Australia. First of all, you're from Manaus in Brazil. You're a young man, but you're already in Australia with an entire life there. Tell us, how did you end up in Australia, man?
A long story.
Long story. We got time.
Well, with my career as a jiu-jitsu athlete, I've been traveling the world since 2016. I've been traveling the whole world, and then I came to Australia first time in 2018. And then I got in love with the country, the culture, the weather, everything. And I always did have a dream of opening my own school young. I did plan to open my school as soon as I get my black belt. And when I came here, I was still brown belt. So I said, yeah, here's the place. And then, yeah, and stay here and build my life here.
Was it love at first sight when you got to Australia?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Total. Now you're into other sports as well. I know you golf. I heard you're a good golfer, but do you surf? Do you do anything else?
Yeah, I have many hobbies. I play golf like a few times a week, depending on the season as well. If I'm busy with
Nice.
work, competing, I play less. And yeah, I do surf as well. I think anything that keep me moving, keep my mind busy, and keep challenging me, I'm down for.
Nice. I like that. I like that. Yeah, you do not shy away from any challenges. That we do know, man. All right, and you said, I mean, there's so many things we want to talk about, but when what always impresses me when we talk is that you're pretty business minded. People know you, obviously. Great champion, got gold medals in world tournaments throughout all the belts and everything. People know that part of you, definitely. And if you don't, you gotta know that. You gotta see this man fighting. But tell us a little bit about this other side. You're an entrepreneur. You have your own school. You travel. You have big plans. I hear. Tell us a little bit about that Thalison, the one that owns a school, runs a business, and does all these things.
Yeah, I try to find the balance between that, but business, I've been in the business for forever, right? Like I know the business. I'm very involved, very like deep in the business as well. So I'm the annoying wife. I like to asking all the questions and learn a lot about anything. I try to have a overall understanding about anything has to do with jiu-jitsu or business itself. Yeah, and I run my school here. Run my business is in very early years of it, like we 2 years in the business now. But I've been planning it like for a long time. I've been studying. I've been making my own research, exchange information, learn from different people that have achieved it, have a success as well. and I also like saw my career as a business, and I knew the career of an athlete has a short time, and something had to keep going after that. That's why I love to compete until I was get my black belt. And when I got my black belt, I did open my school. I was 19 when I opened my school, and then I did find the balance between my career and running a business since then. And from now, I just keep studying. Yeah.
And it amazes me that not only you see your business, meaning your school and everything, as a business, but you also see your career as an athlete as a business as well. We've talked about different opportunities and sponsorships. How does that part? How is being a full-time athlete also a business? What's the business aspect there? How do you deal with it?
Well, you become a marketing product. Like once you the high level and you connect yourself to the whole world, and if you give it the example of jiu-jitsu is a big market that keep
Mhm.
growing daily. More people are getting to jiu-jitsu daily, and these people connect to you through social media, competitions, seminars, so you become their marketing product. So it's a great way for brands to like get the exposure they are looking for, to build the brand, and yeah, and trying to funnel all these clients into sales. So yeah, I think my point of view is more you become a marketing product.
Uh-huh.
And so if you know how to use your image and all that, you become gold for big brands.
For big brands, and that's the goal, right? To be connected with the biggest, best brands that you can find. And how do you decide who to associate yourself with? Because, like you said, you're a brand. You're also a brand. There are big brands out there, but Thalison is a brand. And I'm sure there are different opportunities out there. How do you decide who you go with and who you don't go with?
It comes down to the micro details, right? Like I try to compare my values to them and see what the goal is to run the business for how long, if they are just there for one period of time, or if they want to do business forever. And if we share the same values, we have share the same vision, everything. I think if we compare all that and get aligned, and makes so much sense for me, that for me, there's no reason not why not do it.
All right. So if you look at what their goals are, if the values are similar, and if you're talking the same language, you feel like you can go. Nice. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, man.
Yeah, that make it easier for me to relate my brand, because my brand, because I know I'm not building a character that I'm not. I like to be myself, and I would never is against my moral values do
Uh-huh.
something doing, so that's why I prefer to be have partnerships that I can be myself and bring my own expertise to the table, and of course keep learning, progressing from that, and yeah, help as much as I can.
A man of principles, no pretending, right? Man, pretending, I understand people do different things, but pretending is exhausting. When you have to pretend to be somebody you're not, that's exhausting. You become emotionally tired. You're always exhausted, and in the end, I don't think you are as happy. The whole thing. I'll take the 45 grand a year and I'm happy, instead of the half a million a year that I'm miserable every day. And I think there's something to that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I think that's your own self, right? You need to stay true to your own self. and pretending something that most people, as I've been studying over the years, different industry, they regret it, and think that I don't want to make.
Right. Have you ever had to say no to a brand that maybe like financially would be a good deal, but the moral values didn't really align, so you decided to decline? You don't have to say who it is if you said no.
Yeah, many times, like just the plan, the way they wanna market it is not something I would enjoy doing, and
Mhm.
you know, but yeah, it just don't go with what I believe. So
Yeah.
then
And you don't sound like you regret it. You sound perfectly happy with your decisions. You're going places, keep achieving different things. Good choices. I think in as an older man, I guess I can say as time goes by and you made good choices repeatedly, it really counts, man. It really does. When you start making poor choices early, maybe you can get away with a thing or two, but as time goes by, 10, 20, 30 years, I think you feel the weight of the wrong choices, and you're making all of the good choices from early on. It's really inspiring, man. It's really inspiring to see that. Let me ask you another question. It's related to that, but it's curious because you walk with Braus. I see, man, that ADCC merch. That's so dope. I love the design that Braus is making with that. The hashtag making history. I love that. You are with Braus at the moment. You decided to associate, to bring your brand to connect with Braus. But honestly, I don't know how you guys connected. I know that you guys are there in Australia. I know, well, obviously, Brazilians. But how did the connection happen, and how did it all come about?
uh
Long story as well.
yeah, like we have great partnership. Like we met each other. I met Renato
Uh huh.
2000 Bali. We in Bali doing a camp
Uh huh.
there. God, he knew me already. I did not know him.
Yeah, he's not a world champion, okay?
The hidden talent. He walked in the shadows.
I'll tell you what, man. He's a world champion businessman. I'll tell you that right now. World
Yeah,
class businessman. But anyway,
very talented man, and he just walked in the shadows. I joke on him. I joke on him. He said,
superhero.
"Sure." So yeah, met him there, and we built a relationship since that day. Not even a business relationship, but we built like a friendship there.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I was pretty free back in the time already, like with sponsorships and all that. And then he gave me we started chatting about it, like talking what would make sense for both of us. And he knew I was starting my project, open my school as well. And I told him it would have something to make sense for me back in the time because I was very, very like deep into my business that I was opening. And he did
Mhm.
help me. Of course, he been around the business for forever, Australia for most of his life as well, so he understand the culture. So get all the his insight on it was pretty helpful for me as well. He came down many times to Byron to help me. So just on that, we built a nice relationship. That make me just as a friendship make me like a really support him back in whatever project he's in.
The relationship, the personal relationship came before you decided to join the brands.
Yeah.
That's really really important. It shows that you have a purpose that is actually greater than just the brand. And obviously, Browse involved with a bunch of different things, and we have different plans and everything. But you are someone we know that you interviewed you before. You are someone who came from an house. Things were not the same scenario as they are today. Things have been harder in the past. There's one man. One of the most inspiring stories, and that I heard from you is that when you won your first when you had a click, you told us you had a click. You won your first worlds, blue belt, and then you had a major experience. Tell us a little bit, if you remember that, the story I'm alluding to. Tell us a little bit about that moment, because I think it's one of the most inspiring stories I've heard from
Yeah, I have to overcome so many adversities in my life growing up. I I was born in the middle of the Amazon,
you.
like born in Manaus. I was born in Manacapuru, but I grew up in a village, with back in the time 500 people, where it take a day by boat to get there from Manaus. Um, and then I lost my father really young, and then I went to São Paulo. Then is when I went to Manaus to live with my mom, and then when I started training jiu-jitsu, and jiu-jitsu always been my way out of trying to overcome that I had to overcome such a early age, and yeah, that then I grew up on the mats, right? I grew up on the mats since then, since 12, yeah, since 12. I grew up on the mats, just training daily for as many hours possibly my professor used to let me train. And when I went to São Paulo, I had set my mind I want to become the best in the world. I was only 15. And then 16, I become a world champion. First time I become a world champion. And I did I did create all the scenario to be able to afford that trip and go there and get the exposure to the world of what I was capable of. And then I came back home like a few weeks after that, and I had no money. Like I had no money. I did not made a single coin out of that, and that frustrating for me because I could not afford to eat, and yeah, that's when
Like
I started changing my mind on that.
we sometimes say we couldn't afford to eat, or I was so broke I didn't have money to eat. And we say that just to say that we're broke, but it's normally an exaggeration. It's
Yeah,
normally a hyperbole. When you say I
yeah.
came back and I had no money to eat, what exactly do you mean? Are you exaggerating, or it's like, no, I actually couldn't buy? How was it?
Not a single coin, not a single uh, nothing on my own pocket, nothing, nothing
Uh-huh.
on. I used I used to live in the accommodation that my professor sister used to provide for us,
It's like a
and
dorm. Is it like
share, yeah, 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 the 20 people, and I had to ask. Luckily, I had all my mates there, and
uh-huh.
they used to share me and know everything I used to go through. And then they used to share food with me. But yeah,
Mhm.
you know, that was it. Like that was
Right.
very opening for me to become the best in the world and back home and don't have nothing to eat.
And then that's when you said, I want to do more than this.
Yeah, I have to do. Yeah, that's just I have to do.
I want to do more than being the world champion. And then you didn't stop getting world titles. You kept getting world titles twice at purple belt, right? And and then you kept going, but you also branched out. You did other things other than being an athlete and being a champion.
Yeah, I did. I was trying to find a different path of everyone. Like I knew most of the best guys were doing one thing, so I said, okay, I need to do something different. So I did travel the whole world. I think I was 17. I was traveling the whole world already teaching seminars. No, 16 already. I was blue belt. I was doing a lot of seminars. I did travel the whole world doing seminars since 16. So that's when I started changing. So that was my first understanding of business. Is that I could make money by teaching.
Mm.
If I did charge affordable price. There was no pressure of me teaching a quality jiu-jitsu, speak properly and have a good communication. People be happy just to have the experience of training someone that was a young star. I was the yeah, the raising stuff back in the time, so that was more the experience for people. So that was my first understanding of business right there, and that's when I started to put some money together and to afford my career and achieve different things. Like I gave a house for my mom. I was 18.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool.
So I'm a very simple. I always been a very simple person, and when I started to get the components of the business and put that together and make sense, and I said, now I'm gonna just achieve what I always wanted, and that was, I told my mom when I left there, I was going to do is change her life and give her everything she wanted, and be able to achieve that when I was 18 was such a great moment for my persona.
Yeah, man, it's very rewarding. It's very fulfilling, I should say. Right. Wow, that's definitely inspiring. Now, for going back to you being an athlete and a champion, for this year you decided to go to the States for preparation. You went to California, Costa Mesa. I understand. How did that come about, and how was your experience there? I know you've been sharing a little bit about that, but well, how was your overall experience in California there, and with the Worlds?
Was great. The whole experience was amazing, right? Like I got the
Right.
uh, if I talk to you through the experience to LJ at LJ,
Mhm.
um, was a good, really good. Like I'm happy for everything we did. I have a relationship with Professor Gee for a long time. We know each other since I come out in the X scene, and me and Tyne are basically the same age,
True.
grow up together in the jiu-jitsu scene, and so we together in most of competition, did train times before. I did go visit LJ before, never for the amount of time. So what made this trip easier, like this
Uh-huh.
because I had a relationship with them as well, and we just made that bond stronger. And of course, Professor Gee did really look after me in there. Gave me a lot of his time. He's also a busy man. He
Businessman, true.
uh, so he has a lot on his plate, and he does it very well. And just was just very rewarding just to have his attention. You have the best life fed in the world there. He giving you attention is not for many people.
True. That's so true. You gotta value those who give you time, right? And that's very important. I'm pretty sure.
That also did help me a lot with the insight of business. As you know, they've been in the business forever. They've been ahead of the game for
Mhm.
forever, and there was someone that I grow up looking up to, and and so many times uh, I I ask him stuff and all that, so I have the freedom that to ask him stuff, be annoying to him.
I know him a little bit, and it was a little bit of a business internship as well.
Huh?
It wasn't only a training camp, but it was a little bit of a business internship.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, I could ask him a lot, and he made himself very helpful and thoughtful because he did really know. I asked him like a very like deep details, and he was there always help me. Did not hold
Uh-huh.
anything. Was great to connect to him to that way as well. What made that even stronger. What made it winning even more special for me because especially because I always did many camps like around the world. I never had like a most athletes in jiu-jitsu. They have a specific place where they train and they get together and train. for me, I always did I did go to New York, I did a lot in São Paulo, but I did everywhere else as well, uh, because I always had to find a balance between making a living and still competing, So that was like the first time ever that I stopped for like 6 weeks to train for competition.
Just to train. You didn't have to think about anything else. That's amazing. And the results came.
Yeah.
And the results came. Congratulations on that, by the way. Now, these guys, like you said, best light feather in the world. These guys are definitely legends, the Mendes brothers, and you're on your way to becoming a legend as well. And I don't say that lightly, but just based on everything you are doing, you have done, and you are doing, you're not slowing down. You keep having different plans and goals, and so you are on your way. But we could not finish this episode of the podcast without talking about something that was very impactful that just happened. Unfortunately, not good, but we just lost a legend, someone who meant a lot to all of us. Definitely one of my jiu-jitsu idols. And I know he was an idol for you as well, but for you, Leandro Lo was more than just an idol. You weren't just a fan. He was a little bit more than that for you. Would that be okay for you to talk about him and everything he meant for you? So we could maybe honor your friend, our idol. I think everybody would like to hear that.
It's the past few weeks was tough. It's still been pretty minute. I did stop, got a few days for myself to reflect everything and think about who was Leandro for me, and Leandro was everything you possibly can think about him. He was a mentor for me since I was 15. He was the person to welcome me in São Paulo. I got there. I was 15. I used to weigh like a 45 kilos, so small. He did hug me. He did give me. He was there for everything. He used to take me to eat. He knew I could not afford to pay my own food, so he used to wait for my train to finish to go to take me to eat. So his training started at like 11 a.m. and used to go until 12. And then my training used to start at 12 and finish 1 p.m. And he used to wait until 1 p.m. just to take me to it, and just nothing, getting nothing out of it, just from his heart doing that. Yeah, like every word he gave me is always like pushing me up, like telling me that I would achieve great things, and everything. I had so much difficult growing up, like I could not communicate properly. And he was always there, like he knew what I needed, what I had to listen to as well, and he knew my questions, even that I did not have questions. And growing up, I was in the X scene, and he was there every competition, celebrating me, telling me he knew I was going to do it, happy for me. When I moved to Australia, we came together to here. We came to Australia 2018. We planned to be here. And then I told him I was going to stay, and he was just so happy for me. He said, yeah, it's a great place here to stay. I'm going to come visit you every year from now on as well. And it's fun to think, how he was as a person, he was the one that took me to the party when I complete 18. When I turned 18, he told me my dream is to take your party, and I had the competition in the other week, and then he just said, "No, you're coming. You need to celebrate it. It's your 18th birthday." And then I said, "No, I have to compete and all that." And then he started to, his motivation speech and saying, so if you're not feeling good, you won't win that. I talked, no, I will, and say, okay, let's go party then. And that was even the video I posted, was myself and Bochecha there. So all the memories I have of Leandro is like that, smiling, always looking forward, being positive about life and enjoying life and living life on the fullest all the time and being smiling, like sharing that what jiu-jitsu give us, that joy and that just bring to us, but the one that share people to that. And for me, it was a pleasure to be able to be a close friend, to have him as a mentor and an idol. He's an idol for the whole nation, right? For the whole jiu-jitsu as well. But just to have with him was something that I'm gonna forever be thankful for, and his legacy that he left for me is like a enjoy your life, live your life in the fullest, and give your best daily. Doesn't matter what the adversities you have to face, the circumstances you need to face in life. Just keep showing up, keep giving your best, keep show up with a good smile, and make it look easy. He was the guy that make anything look easy.
Definitely did. Well, it sounds like a brotherly, like a big brother, little brother relationship. And it's, again, it's very inspiring, waiting for you to finish training so he could take you to lunch and doing that over and over and never telling anybody. That's so Leandro Lo. That's who the guy was. So that's why we always loved him so much. We still love him. We're going to honor him. Thalison, thank you so much, man. We could not end on a better note than talking about Leandro, but thank you for sharing all of this with us. Is there anything else you want to tell us? Anything, your goals and plans, hopes, things that are brewing there? I know you're coming to Brazil in the end of the year. Anything else you want to tell us so we can wrap it up?
Yeah, a lot of planning, studying, testing things, but a lot of good news are coming soon for the people that like it to follow my career and see what starts to up to now. And yeah, end of the year gonna be in Brazil, so it'll be good to be there and connect to the community. I left Brazil super young, so it'll be good to come share my experience to the new generation. And yeah, and be there with everyone. That's gonna be a great experience for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all of this with us. Look forward to working with you for a very long time. All the luck in the world. All the best. Thank you so much. Everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in, for watching. Leave your comments. Tell us who you'd like to see here. Let's see if we can see each other very soon. We have many things planned for you. See you all next time. Thank you, Thalison. Thank you, everybody. See ya.